I sold in the last 24 hours on Poshmark, and I'm actually quite surprised because I have a bunch of things to ship out. I thought it would be quiet, but apparently a lot of people are shopping right now. The first thing I sold was these Icebreakers. Funny enough, I sell a lot of things to the East Coast, and these are going to California. I typically wrap in tissue paper the item individually, but because these are, I would say, somewhat sharp, I'm going to put the tissue paper in the box. I have it ready to go. This is a regional rate box A. Everything I ship on Poshmark, I use all USPS free supplies. I do not purchase shipping supplies for Poshmark. They have all the supplies for free that meet my needs. These are going to go in diagonally, and what's nice about that is that it's a very tight fit, so I don't have to put other packing materials in here. Just going to tuck the tissue paper and put a thank you sticker on top. The next item I sold was a J. Crew lamb's wool sweater, 100% lamb's wool. I have already used my shaver on it, and sometimes I take a roller to it. I also love this tool. It just removes lint. Sometimes I get frustrated with the rollers. So the item's going to a man or the item's going to a woman, they get the same treatment. I just like it to look a particular way when I ship items. So this is going to be sent in a Tyvek envelope, so I pretty much know what size it needs to be. It's super flexible, and with the tissue paper, it's protected. I don't pack things in plastic bags. I just don't like the extra waste, and I don't feel like the need to have to buy things. I like to use this. It's actually considered bakery tissue paper. This is what I use to pack all of my items in. I also seal or tape up my items with washi tape. I just like the way washi tape looks. I'm currently using this sort of Monstera plant design. I think it looks, I don't know, it's just fun. It feels like people are getting a present with the way that I wrap things. I have a little washi tape dispenser that I use. I buy the washi tape in a 15 pack from Amazon, so that is one expense that I do have, but I don't purchase other items. I do actually like to put a little piece of washi tape on the front with the label. I think it looks cute. This is, I can tell already that I wrapped it a little bit wide, but I know it'll work in here. Just have to be careful when you're squeezing them in those bags, because sometimes that little label can peel off. The next two items that I sold within moments of one another, which is really funny, is pointe shoes. So these were my daughter's pointe shoes. She danced on pointe for a number of years, and my other daughter also dances on pointe, and I have her old pointe shoes on too. People do really cool art projects with pointe shoes. So these are technically considered dead pointe shoes, which means they're not danceable. It's actually very dangerous to try to dance on pointe shoes, but you can use them for crafting projects, and I just sort of love that they're getting a second life. I am sending all the ribbons and elastic with them. I think it's super fun. And I also think it's funny that I sold 2 pairs back to back. I thought, oh, well, maybe these women are crafting together or something. I do have multiple pairs in my Poshmark account right now, and I've had them up just for a few weeks. Dancers have a hard time letting go of their shoes, so my daughters had huge bags of Old Point shoes, and I convinced them to finally let them go since my one daughter is in college and no longer dancing. The next thing that I sold was a pair of Patagonia shorts. They're organic cotton. They're men's size 36. These actually did have a little bit of discoloration on them here. I just noted it in the listing and priced them accordingly. I have sold a pair of these shorts before in sort of a more khaki color, and they had been repaired, but these are very popular, and so anytime I see them, anytime I see Patagonia in general, I always pick it up. I don't know, this fold that I do in the tissue paper is literally just like something from my childhood, the way my mom used to wrap presents. It's kind of funny. I sort of laugh to myself when I do that. I'm going to fold these into the middle and then just fold them up once because they're canvas and they're bulky. So I would say I pick up this washi tape that's kind of just like geometric patterns, floral. There's some polka dots. It's just, it's kind of my style, but I pick them up for, it's about 15 rolls for $8 or something like that on Amazon. I also have a little bit more generic, just black and white thank yous. And this is just what the washi tape looks like. This is going in just a Tyvek envelope. One of my favorites. The great thing about it is you don't need to spend time taping things. They're free. They fit a lot of sizes of things. It's really, I order these, and you can order all shipping items and your postman will deliver them. The next thing I sold was a Patagonia jacket. It's a kind of more like a windbreaker, light water repellent jacket. It's funny because Patagonia still makes this jacket, but they have moved to very basic colors, just solid colors, and my daughter did wear this, but really she didn't wear it a lot, so it was in really good shape. So I priced it accordingly, kind of a little bit on the, I don't want to say higher side, but I definitely priced it like very solidly for Patagonia. And it being a pattern and in such good shape, I took all of those things into account. Whereas with the shorts, you know, they had discoloration in them. They looked kind of like they were bleached out a little bit. They were just in a load of watch that happened to have bleach in them. So, you know, I take into account the condition of things, even if the brand name is solid. I'm not gonna try to oversell something that has wear in it. I definitely take that into account. This actually has my daughter's name written on the tag, and a lot of the times I'll just disclose that as my daughter's name written on the handle of the backpack. I think for things like this, when you get a really good deal on them, people really don't mind. Now, this next item weighs 4.5 pounds before it's even in a box. Someone happened to bundle with a pullover, and so this exceeds the 5 pounds that you're allotted in Poshmark. I had to purchase a 6-pound label, which that cost to me was $4.50. When the person made an offer to me on the bundle, I just simply sent a comment to her and said, I'm willing to do the discount on this bundle, but I just want to let you know I'm going to add $5 towards the excessive shipping cost. So at each price point, there's a surcharge every pound above 5 pounds. So the buyer did pay for the shipping, but I had to pay Posh fees. So basically, we sort of split the cost of the additional charge here. This coat is amazing. It's going to be hard to show the whole thing. It is a vintage JG hook. It's totally reversible. It's a down jacket. It's sort of like a blanket coat. It happens to be the fabric that picks up everything, and so even though I have already cleaned this, I can tell that it needs, I'm gonna spend some time right now making sure that it looks really great. This is the label. It's a suede label. I think the person who owned this wore it a lot on the lighter side. There's definitely wear on this side. 80% down, 20% waterfowl feathers. It's a women's 8 to 10. It was made in Korea. Usually when I pick up vintage items and the tag says made in Korea, that's pretty indicative of the era which it was made. Basically, items started being produced from the United States out to, you'll see labels that say made in Taiwan, made in Korea, starting around the 1980s, 1990s. So, I'm gonna zip this up, but we may struggle together to get this in to this box, because the problem is if I put it in a bigger box that I happen to have, and I save a lot of boxes that we receive packages in for these purposes, the cardboard's thicker, and so then it went over. It was 5 pounds 15 ounces, and it was just a little too close for my comfort. So I have a priority mail box. It's a large box, and I'm gonna ship it in that. This is not going to be wrapped. I'm just gonna put some tissue paper on the top of this, but this is a large shipping box. It's not a flat rate, it's just a large mailing box. I spend so much time before cleaning things, and I hadn't, I always note for vintage items that even though I try to disclose any stains that may be present, you're always going to find some sort of minor imperfection, and that's sort of what's going to happen when you want to own vintage. It's rare that you find vintage, pristine, new with tags hasn't been used. So, you find vintage items and they've been used, and part of that is they're gonna have flaws. This does not have major flaws, but it does have signs that it has been pre-owned. I really want to try to make this as small as possible, so I'm gonna fold towards the center. Once again, I pretty much know what size my box is. jacket is fabulous. I almost had a hard time letting it go. Got it as close as I can to the size of this box. I'm gonna push it down. I have about 2 inches maybe to put the next piece. A Grand Teton pullover. I find that I do really well with a lot of outdoor gear. I live in Colorado. I have the most access to items like this. This is a national park. It's super soft. It's called Second Skin. There's the logo on that. I'm gonna stick this on top. It worked. I'm very proud. Oh my goodness, what an order. I'm gonna stick a piece of tape on this flap. It's really not that bad. So proud because I really was a little bit unsure about this item, getting it into this box, but it's working and it's not too stuffed. Oh, I hope the person really enjoys this. This coat is just amazing. So the next item I have is the last item, and it's kind of funny, but it's 7 skeins of really amazing wool. It's undyed. The woman who bought it is going to dye it. I weighed them all because they don't have tags on them. And I am actually, well, I guess I don't need to. I was going to say I was going to ship them in this bag, but I think I'll just save that for other things. I did open it because she asked me what the yardage was in it, and I wasn't exactly sure. So I opened it up and I just put it along the yardstick and I approximated what the length of all of these is. Okay. Never a dull moment. Here's number 7. I sold 7. I knew there were 7, but there were only 6 in the bag, and I'm so glad I made the point of actually counting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I sold these for $48. Pretty proud of myself on that one. So I did have them for hire. They retail at about $14 a skein. So great deal for me, great deal for her. I do know it's all gonna fit in here. I kind of took a look before I put it together. It's nice and snug, very beautifully. It actually, it like even smells lovely. And it's funny. Sometimes you get into conversations with people, or sometimes I get into conversations with people about items when they, you know, bundle them or before they ship or they need more information. And so it's kind of like, can you send me a picture after you dye this, because it's so beautiful. I really want to see like what you turn this into. You know, sometimes you get things and you have these hopes like, oh, I'm gonna dye this and I'm gonna do this, and then it sits and sits and sits, and then I just come to a point where I'm like, I think it's time to let it go to someone who actually wants to do something with this, and then I can make $50. I did not make $50. I made 80% of $48. So this is everything. I'm very excited. I hope you enjoyed this. I will be potentially making more videos in the future.